do 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 Hey, welcome to In the Garage. Hey, welcome to In the Garage. It's a podcast about Weezer. And, good band, in my opinion. Got Slurpee over here. It's been a while, Stained, since we recorded a pod, wouldn't you say, Tyler? This is like a backdoor introduction.
Yes.
Tyler, how you doing? What's been new with you?
Quite a bit.
If there was one thing you wanted to share with people who are like, to them it's like you stopped existing. It's like an object permanence kind of thing. It's like our audience are all just dumb babies who don't know where a thing goes when it leaves. So it's like you're back. They've remembered that you exist.
Yeah.
What do you want to share with them?
I'm going to go away soon again.
Goodbye soon. That's fair. I'm going to swing things over to our other co-host, sitting in a chair, looking unimpressed. He was recently asked to remove his sandals so that they wouldn't interfere with the record. It's Chaz.
Hi.
Chaz, how you doing?
I'm good.
What's the piece of news you want to share with the crowd?
I don't know. I don't really do anything.
Yeah, same. Given how little we collectively do, we should really record podcasts more often.
Yeah.
All right. Hard agree.
They would be as good as this is right now.
Which is very good, to be fair. So, what?
Would be better if I was allowed to wear my sand.
So,
I'll just make the noises with my mouth.
This is good stuff. So, Weezer. Heard of them? Hope so.
They have a new album out.
That's true, Tyler. So we finished. When did we record when was our last episode released?
I should have this YouTube page.
YouTube.com /
YouTubing my own channel.
Channel ~V =
Oh, I love
capital
this
L,
style of humor.
8 lowercase o.
Switch account.
So some time ago, we released our most recent episode, and at the time
we have a new subscriber.
That's so.
Hi.
You should shout them out. What's
Shout
their
out
name?
Lucky Mustard.
Lucky Mustard.
Yo.
We should rename the podcast Lucky Mustard.
He should make a podcast called that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. You could talk about condiments.
Uploads.
Whoa, that would actually be good. Did we just sell a podcast?
We sold the podcast.
Yeah, you could get like
It's
imported
the sequel to We Bought a Zoo.
stuff in. What?
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
The sequel to We Bought a Zoo, We Sold a Podcast.
I saw
We released the Pacific
having
Daydream
3 different conversations.
episode on December 23rd.
2018? That's not that bad. That's good.
Oh, Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah.
Very belated. Chaz, what were you going to say?
I saw this YouTube video. Some people, they owned this store that just sold pop, and they just had pop imported from all around the world, like shit from Italy, made out of like rose petals. Like, think of the most fucked up pop flavor you could, and thank God.
The most fucked up pop flavor.
Like LaCroix?
Or like poop. I was thinking poop flavored pop. Oh wait, it's practically the name.
Poop.
This sucks so bad.
Poop pop.
It's so good. So
Soda poop.
So back then, back in
It would be so disgusting.
Oh, that's good. We sold a pop. This rules.
No one else thinks this is funny.
Hey, Weezer song. No one else. You win.
All right.
Who gets to make a Weezer reference?
When they're awake, they put our jokes up on the shelf.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, I liked it. So back in those,
pretending to dislike it.
just like I always do with you. Pretend to dislike you.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
So back in December 23rd, when that episode, right? December 23rd?
Yeah.
Back when that episode was released, there were only 11 studio Weezer albums. And if you're thinking, hey, I came up with that number a lot faster than usual, it's because I'm looking at Wikipedia. So, that's no longer the case. Which is why...
Sir.
No, yes. Right? No scrubs. I love when I initiate a joke and just get a blank stare. It's like I know
You wait for us to fill in the blanks.
I already know. It's like as a plane is taking off, I already know it's not going to land. But it's like
Okay.
it's like I gotta keep flying. I gotta at least try. You know?
Right, yeah.
Is that a good metaphor?
Just thinking about, like, looking at the plane window and seeing the landing gear just, like, falling.
I'll take off.
That would be a
The
bummer.
plane took off, but the landing gear didn't. That's the problem we're dealing
They
with
forgot,
right now,
they forgot
folks.
to weld the landing gear to the plane.
Him announcing it on the intercom. Got a quick announcement for you.
Got 7 parachutes, so
That
I
classic
have
joke.
some cut straws in my hand at various lengths.
Why are they various lengths? They should be 2 lengths.
The only
Short
one is
or
the
long.
one.
To match it up to my reference.
Let's talk about Weezer now, guys.
Yeah, Weezer, good band in my opinion.
Feels a lot sometimes like
Like
a plane
summer?
that can't land. It's too hot in here. I'm taking my hoodie off.
Ooh.
Fucking freezing in this apartment. I was thinking about putting my winter coat on.
We are recording this from Chaz's bed, except Chaz isn't in it. He's in a chair.
It's a sofa. Love
is.
seat of sorts.
Oh yeah, it's true.
It's just
I couldn't
buried
see it
in
'cause it's
garbage.
It's a
buried under
2-person chair.
30 coats. It's a tandem chair.
It's a sidecar.
It's a chair with a sidecar. So, what? You don't like this?
It's just a seat.
You don't like the
It's
content
a
we're
place
putting
for
out?
Chaz to park his little bum.
Place for my coats to go.
Yeah. It's like that
I-
M83 song that no one knows where the boats go. That's where the goats go.
I clean it like once a month, and then
Someone's gonna love that reference. Sorry, when's the last time you cleaned that?
I cleaned it maybe like a week or so ago, and then it instantly is just every time I take a piece of clothing off, it goes on the sofa.
Yeah. That's like the floor of my bedroom.
My room goes from real nice looking to terrible in about 2 days.
Yeah. Really gotta use my dresser more.
Yeah.
I gotta get a dresser.
Yeah.
So, December 23rd, 2018, a day that will live in infamy for our podcast being released. But, so back then, there were only 11 Weezer albums, and now there's a 12th, which is why we've reconvened here in the Weezer Dome, as I now call this place, to talk about Big Sniff,
Big sniff from Tyler.
the Teal album. So, let's talk about it. This is we're going a little off formula because this is I wouldn't. Is it fair to say that this is? I wouldn't call this a full-fledged album.
No.
It was
Yeah.
surprise released on the 24th of January, so about a week before we were recording this. Yeah, I mean, I assume that basically once the Africa thing came out, they were. Is that your take, Tyler? Do you agree with that take that is how this whole thing came about, or do you think that
They did.
Oh my God! May 2018 is when the Africa cover came out.
Yeah.
That is so long ago.
Okay. I forgot about that. So with that in mind,
I literally thought that came
I'm
out
gonna
like 2
sneeze.
months ago.
at some point, yeah, it feels
What?
like
Summer.
big sniff from Tyler.
You disagree? That it-
Yeah.
Really? I feel it feels like it honestly feels like it just came out to me.
I remember pre-ordering like the 7-inch for it from Urban Outfitters website like a couple minutes after it went up, and I was driving I was driving up for Jake's bachelor party then,
A
and the
reference I
song had
understand. I do. I was there.
Yeah. And no one else.
Yeah. Weezer.
Okay.
there was some Weezer there.
There was some Weezer. Drake's Scorpion had just dropped.
Yes, that one had dropped like the day we left to go up there, I think.
But sorry, continue with your...
Minimal impact on the culture, it feels like.
Pretty good album, though.
Great album. I listened to it. I'd still listen to it all the time.
Best of his last 3, in my opinion.
I would agree.
Wow.
Say,
Does that include More Life?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say best since... if you're reading this, it's too late.
Yeah.
Probably.
Sorry. I derailed us. Please continue.
Yeah, and the song had came out a while before the pre-orders opened, so...
Okay.
So the song's been out for a while.
Yeah,
And
since
So-
May.
2018.
I did it. Never mind. So that to me that cements the concept that it came out, it did really well, and they were like,
And they were like,
do an
oh,
album of
people
it."
love it when we do songs that people already like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which... I don't know.
This is a real like crisis of faith of an album.
I wouldn't call it a crisis of faith. It's just that we spent so much time wringing our hands about Rivers being in touch with his own creative songwriting process. So
Right.
it's like... It feels so weird.
Feels so summer.
Help me out here, Chaz.
Chris, your band.
Like Weezer's a band.
Chris, your band. Chris, your band.
I'm gonna drink this beverage. Keep it in. Continue. Sorry, I'm very
You're
sorry.
done adjusting your position.
I'm okay. My back was hurting.
Okay.
This
My
is
back
going to be a
hurts.
real half-assed no edits podcast.
Yeah,
It's
leave
gonna-
all of this in. It's good. It's good now.
People love the dead air.
People like that shit, like Come Town and all that bullshit.
What?
Come Town?
You don't know about, there's a podcast called Come Town. It's terrible, and people love it.
Well, ours
Tyler
is
looks,
terrible. And
Tyler
people
looks
don't love
dismayed. People like bad podcasts, that's what I'm trying to say.
I like my share of bad podcasts.
And so, like, that means we're doing really well.
Alright, okay.
This one's really
What
good.
were we talking about? We were talking about Africa. Yes, Africa came out so long ago. It feels like they had from May.
It feels like summer.
Why did you hit me? I didn't even say it. Oh my god. Okay,
I'm done. No, you guys talk.
I'm done.
It feels like summer, Sean. I put the sandals back on.
Holy shit! Oh my god. Okay.
My cheeks hurt.
Okay, let's keep it under control. Okay.
And we're back.
Ooh, thanks for sticking with us. So, my opinion is that no one is ever allowed to say feels like on this podcast again. It seems to me that they... Okay, sorry. We were talking about a crisis of faith with Weezer.
Yeah, sure.
Tyler, give your thoughts on that. Speak on that.
Oh, yeah,
You agree?
yeah. Crisis of faith.
Come on.
What am I supposed to do here?
I want to hear your thoughts. I'm sorry that we did a very funny joke that will make our podcast
Sorry
a hit.
that we're.
But now it's your time, and I promise I will only whisper a Weezer song if you say it.
I think they came out with Africa, and then after it became popular.
Africa, like the Weezer song.
You beat me to it.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna put... Okay, If you don't hear from me, it's because I pushed the mic away from... God. If you don't hear me, I'm pushing the mic away from myself so that you won't hear me and Tyler can talk. That did my unfoley work.
Other noises was probably happening anyway. I think Africa got really popular, and then they went, let's do it some more. And that's what they did.
Yeah. I
agree.
I thought someone else was going to talk again.
So this came out 1 week ago. Did we have... When did you first hear that this had happened? It came out at like midnight, right? Oh, I remember actually.
Yeah, I woke up to the messages from you guys.
I think I might have been the one to break the news.
You did.
It wasn't. I didn't see it. Someone else I know had like seen it and then messaged me about it, and that was probably like.
Who told you about it?
Well, I'll tell you, it's really lame because it's a person on a Discord for another podcast that I listen to on the music channel. Someone said that there was a surprise Weezer album. And that was at like 12:30 at night, so obviously I raised the W signal.
Yeah.
And a scant 1 week later, we congregated to discuss it. So...
January 24th at 12:56 a.m. Chris goes, new Weezer cover album. They cover Tears for Fears.
One of Chaz's favorite bands, that's why I mentioned it.
Is one of Chaz's favorite bands. I know him well.
Chaz?
Yeah.
Same.
I also know that guy Tears for Fears well, too.
Tiff. So let's just jump... What?
The Tears for Fears.
Tears for Feelers?
Tears for Fears Festival.
That'd be Tiff. Mm-hmm. Okay, come on. So, I say, since we've had so little preamble, let's just jump right into it, shall we?
Let's beat around the bush some more.
So to speak. So, we're just going to go track by track, since we were talking about this.
Almost.
Throwback track day. We were talking about this. We were discussing, our usual famous format that has now been adopted by thousands of podcasts, where we create three separate numbered lists, assign point values to each of the rankings, and then collate that into one larger list. We never mess it up. We never exclude a song entirely from the list.
I always understand the shootout structure perfectly.
Oh yeah, the Mexican Fender standoff. Did we already make that joke?
I think we did.
Is that still an ongoing situation, or was it resolved?
It's a perfect situation, in my opinion.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, so this time we felt, it's not a full Weezer. Like, we will do this when their new studio album, ostensibly the Black Album, comes out, right? We'll go back to the OG format. But here, they're covers, so you're kind of judging them by a few different criteria, like how good the song is itself.
How well the song is written.
Yeah, exactly. And also the fact that they haven't written the song, so to a certain degree, the quality, your enjoyment of the song is affected by the original writers. So it's not fair to Weezer to rank these songs.
It was also weird because we put out episode 11 of our podcast about the 11th Weezer album, and then about 6 days after that, all of the news about the Black Album came out.
Yeah.
And so it very quickly became dated where we are really
we're
wringing our hands in the Pacific Daydream episode, like, when will Weezer come out with this new album? And I was okay, like, it came out.
It will come out soon. Oh, allegedly, again, like, when was it originally supposed to come out, Chaz?
Well, they've been talking about
it. It was supposed to come out, like, before Pacific Daydream. For some reason, I thought it was, like, early 2018 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometime in 2018? I don't know.
Yeah. It's never coming out. So...
Wait. What? Did Pacific Daydream come out in 2017 or
2017?
Late 2017.
Yeah, that's what I... Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, like summer.
No, it was...
Feels like summer.
I'm pretty sure it was late.
Or maybe... I distinctly
Feels
remember...
like later.
I distinctly remember listening to Mexican Fender at my summer job, but that was probably a couple months before the.
I'm pretty sure I went into the HMV when it was still an HMV.
October 27th.
Yeah, and I bought the CD for it while I was waiting for like my pre-order thing for my new phone to go through at the kiosk. That's right. I get my phones from a kiosk.
How bougie of you. Oh yeah, August 17th is when
It's the most embarrassing
Mexican
thing I've
Fender,
ever
the
admitted.
single music
Yeah.
video came out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
How about we talk about the Teal album now?
Teal's like summer. Oh, okay, so the first song is Africa by Toto. Originally by Toto. We have talked about this song. This song has been released for some time. Do we want to revisit any of our thoughts on it? When we were doing our big group listen, as we always do before we record the podcast, which always makes it end up that we're recording very late, as you can tell, we skipped Africa entirely. Because I feel like we were collectively like, fuck this shit. Tyler, thoughts?
Yeah, my feelings on Africa have changed since they came out with Can't Knock the Hustle and Zombie Bastards and now the whole TL album. And I feel like we can all... I can accept the Africa cover for what it is.
Interesting.
And it feels like it has a more logical place in the Weezer discography. Because we did all this like, are they just going to be like a covers album now? And then they did it. And you're like, oh, well, this is actually pretty good. So like, I'm fine with that.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess so. To me, just speaking holistically for a moment, I feel like this album feels less like... It still feels a little bit like pandering,
Yeah.
but not to the same degree as Africa.
Africa, they really rode that one out. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with No Scrubs. Like, if they're going to try to ride that out, too, like they did with Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I don't really have any problems with this album. It's not like they teased it and we had to wait for it or anything. It's
Yeah,
just
it's not like they were a teaser. I'm sorry.
It was a free gift.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I hope it doesn't, like, ruin their career, setting them on, like, a weird path like what Africa did. Like,
Yeah.
oh, let's push stuff back and work on covers, and when we play live shows, we're going to play a bunch of covers. It's like they already play, like, very short sets compared to, like, other bands.
And very greatest hits oriented.
Yeah.
Said less.
Yeah, we were talking about right before our record started how we were I would say we are pessimistic largely about the current state of Weezer. We were talking about how it feels like we could be descending into another, what I refer to as a dark age of Weezer.
A big dark age. With
Pacific Daydream acting as the red that is sort of like a precursor of things to come.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they can, if that is where it's going, I hope they can survive another dark age.
Oh, that's
Whereas,
true.
I don't know, it seemed kind of iffy between, like, Hurley and,
Everything will be alright.
yeah.
Yeah. That was, 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years. 4 big ones.
Dang. Hope we don't have to wait 4 years to do another podcast.
Jeez.
we'll be dead. We'll all be dead by then.
God willing.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's better. Okay. So, yeah, Africa, same as it ever was. I feel like
Same
Africa...
as it ever was.
Really, same as it ever was. It really set the tone for this album, which is kind of very straightforward covers. Like, it's clearly Weezer, but it's not I wouldn't call these covers adventurous, other than you can say certain song choices
Yeah.
might be described as adventurous, but...
No, there's no Mad World by Gary Jules.
Yeah, exactly. They're not drastically...
No shaking the whole thing up.
They're not drastically reinterpreting what the song sounds like.
No.
For me, there's a big sensation when Africa was the only song out that they really wanted to be in on some sort of joke. And that feeling doesn't exist with the whole album.
That's true. Yeah, it feels like they made this because they thought it would be a fun thing. And less that they thought that
no
people...
sort of meme, like, you know.
Well, I mean, I could go either way. Like,
you know,
let's talk about the cover.
Yeah.
The cover of the covers.
I like it.
So they're doing a very 70s thing, right?
80s, I would say.
Okay, 70s.
Much more.
1979.
The Smashing Pumpkins special.
I would still say more. 1983. 82.
When was Miami Vice on the air? That's what it evokes to me.
Early 80s.
Early 80s. Yeah.
Not late 70s.
That's like an 82 to 84 looking thingy. It's a really...
The rolled up shirt.
Yeah, rolled up suit, jacket,
suit,
like really
jacket,
baggy.
sleeves.
Why is it so? 1984 is when Miami Vice started. So yeah, early 80s. I'll concede that. So
you would be dumb not to.
So they're wearing these suits. Rivers is weirdly wearing a shirt that, like, do you think they used a color? Well, it's not quite the same as the color of the album, but do you think they used a color picker on his shirt to create the background of the album?
They could have.
I genuinely think that they modeled the color after the color of the shirt that he's wearing.
Potentially. I think the Teal album is like funny as fuck because it's like, where else can they go from here? You know, they've got the red, the green, the blue, the white, the black. Like the purple album just would seem stupid. Yellow album would look disgusting, I think.
Yeah.
But like the Teal album is just like a joke of a color.
Yeah, it's like off blue.
Yeah, it's just it's actually pretty close to the blue album. Like
I think it's funny. I think it's a good choice, especially as a covers album. Like the fact that it's like blue, but it's like a little bit off.
Yeah, like let's put out like a bundle for it. Like you can get the CD and I don't know, fuck it, like a teal colored wallet. It sells out. Is
that what that is?
Yeah, it sold out like 500 copies of it.
Aren't they doing the Rubik's Cubes too? That are all the same color.
All teal Rubik's Cube?
If you read the description for it, it's pretty funny, the Rubik's Cube. It's like, oh yeah, all teal Rubik's Cube. This is a brand new idea. Just thought up this morning after the wallet sold out in like an hour. First 100 people to buy this get a signed dollar bill. So really, it's only $34 or whatever.
Chaz, do you remember?
Leave it.
Do you remember that YouTube video you showed me? It could have been 10 years ago of the little kid who's reviewing the 1x1 Rubik's Cube.
Oh yeah, fuck that kid. That kid is like the dumbest.
Really turned on him.
No, that was at least 10 years ago. Yeah, because I remember ranting
about. That was when you were big into Rubik's Cubes.
Yeah.
He'd be out in public and he'd be
in front of
fiddling with
everyone and God.
16 by 16.
Oh, I remember pulling that shit out to
16
church.
by 16?
No, the biggest one I had was a 7x7.
I'm looking at a 5x5?
Yep. Yeah, they're scattered around my room. I've got the 12-sided one. Well, enough bragging.
enough humble bragging about how cool you are.
I like how the positioning, their posture on the cover makes it look like either Brian or Scott is the leader of the band.
That's true.
I think
Rivers is kind of like, I don't know, what is he? Is he holding a microphone?
It looks like it. He looks like a fucking weasel or something in there.
Weasel?
Yeah, Rivers doesn't look too good on the cover.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
It's like, well, everyone else.
I mean, like
he's got an odd expression.
I was everyone was wearing nice outfits.
Yeah, I think I like the cover of this a lot.
I do too, but also
it's fun. It's like they're clearly not taking themselves seriously, and I think it genuinely looks pretty good.
Pat always has this look. I'm thinking again of the red cover where he's like, I'm going to do a bit where I'm going to be really serious and it's going to look really funny when I'm really serious.
Well, they're all kind of doing the serious space.
No, I think
I don't know. I think Rivers is the worst part of it, honestly.
Dude, this is probably like the best Pat's looked on an album cover, like, period.
Fair.
Wow.
Probably the best.
I mean,
well,
like Blue,
he's just.
I'm trying to imagine, like, when
Blue
came out, was everyone like, it's funny that these guys look so dorky and are on an album cover? It must have been, right?
I think so. I think that was kind of...
If not funny, then just not like
Interesting.
other album covers.
Yeah.
Have they gone through all of the possible permutations?
Like the orders?
Yeah.
No,
I've
they can't.
been
I
looking
don't
at-
think this is the first time we've seen.
Revers has never been on the end, has he?
I don't think so.
Oh, true.
There's tons of options left.
Oh yeah, at least 2.
Well, I mean,
And if you're including like Mikey and
yeah, I not.
Matt, I don't know.
Yeah,
Or-
I should get Mikey back on the covers.
oh,
I would be so happy.
that would be great news.
Guys, guess what?
Guys, it's me.
This
So
is terrible.
yeah,
I'm looking at the
outfits-
black album cover. trying
Outfit's
to
good.
figure out.
Here's my thoughts on this. Scott looks like Danny Trejo,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
I could see that.
like in the face, and the outfit kind of. But yeah, other than that, I think we're all
they
more
all
or
look-
less supportive of the cover.
Yeah,
Yeah, they all look
good
great.
cover. Brian looks dashing.
Brian
Yeah,
does.
Brian. I mean, we all know Brian's the hot one, but he's looking good here in the pink suit.
Let's rank all the members of Weezer from
Hottest to
hot
least
not.
hot.
From
Okay, hottest is Brian for sure.
obviously. Ooh, are we including past members?
I don't think I know enough about what they look like. Let me pull
Yeah,
this up.
like Mikey didn't look how he obviously doesn't now look like what he looked like.
Oh, it's like a desiccated skeleton. Is that what you're saying?
So he looks different.
Mikey.
Throw Mikey in at a clean number 2. Not off the Green Album cover is a terrible representation.
You think Mikey is number 2? He kind of looks like a combination of like Mike Myers and something else.
Yeah, I mean he's better looking than Rivers and Pat. Maybe.
I guess.
He looked like someone who had a lot of drug problems.
Yeah, honestly,
Really?
as sad as it is, I think so. Yeah,
No,
I
I
think
didn't think so. Yeah, I thought Mikey was a good looking guy.
Now, what about Matt?
Matt's a weird one because it's like he's not
He's-
ugly. I think he's a good looking guy, but
Oh, I think present. This is
yeah, that's from about 2014 or something.
this is a good look.
Yeah, that's from when Lost in Alphaville came
I
out.
feel like I've seen a lot of later pictures of him with like the close cropped hair, and he could totally play Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah.
In
Interesting.
A movie.
He has those nice blue eyes. I'm comfortable putting Matt at number 2.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I would say it would probably either be Matt or
Mikey.
yeah.
Now,
It gets
Okay.
confusing
now
now.
what do we think about Scott?
Scott is weird because I think
I feel like you could
think
easily make the argument that Scott is a handsome man.
Well, no, I think so too. But I think Scott has like aged probably better than like anyone because I thought he looked like, no offense, Scott, but
Well, they all they've
Like,
all
back
had
in,
some
like-
very bad haircuts.
like
through
yeah,
the years.
yeah, like 2002, like around like Maladroit era when Scott first joined the band. I don't know, kind of had a weird look to him, but like recently, Scott's been looking good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of like that. He had like the mustache leading to the mutton chops
With
kind
the
of
long
thing
stuff, yeah.
for a while, which was not
Red
great.
Album, not great looks.
But I'm looking at this clean shaven picture, and he's a nice looking guy.
Yeah, Scott's a good looking guy.
I feel like Scott has aged into
His look.
into like that comfy dad look.
And then Rivers and Pat. Okay. So,
Neither of them are bad looking.
no, I would never go so far as to call any of them unattractive or ugly.
Nah, Jason Cropper probably feels left out now, though.
The crop top?
I don't know what he looks like well enough to.
Well,
I think he's
you've
probably.
piqued my interest. Oh, that's great. look at a number 2 picture on Google image search. He could use a stylist, I'd say.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Say
I mean, like, that's the thing is, like, none of them are unattractive, so, like, I feel like any of them, if you put them in the right outfit, could look better or worse.
Yeah.
But we spent a solid 10 minutes on this, so
Jeez, what time is it? Holy fuck.
let's proceed. I mean, like, I feel like part of the reason that we have been continuously vamping is that we realize that there's not that much to talk about with this
at all.
stuff. But I think there's a fair amount to talk about. So, track 2. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Originally by Tears for Fears. Chaz.
Yeah, I mean...
You're a big Tears head.
Yeah, I would say so. I do like the song, and I think they do a good job of it. It's just kind of weird for me, since I'm such a big Tears for
fans?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm such a big Tears for Fears fan that it's kind of weird, like, imagine,
you
like,
so
Roland's, like, voice coming in and being, like, big, I don't know, like, deep and full, I guess.
And you hear Rivers.
And, like, Rivers is kind of soft. I mean, I don't think it's bad by any means. It's just, like, if I wasn't such a big fan of the original, then I'd probably enjoy this one a lot more than I did. But I think they did a great job on it.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the more standard ones.
Yeah, it's pretty true to the original.
And also, like, it's relatively, like, in their style, in their wheelhouse kind of thing.
Oh, for sure.
And like, and they also, like, they don't even, like, like, on some songs they, like, really kind of, like, turn it up in terms of, like, adding, like, the distortion on the guitars and stuff.
Kind
or,
of
like, adding, like, a kind of, like, 4 on the floor kind of beat.
Weezer bit.
Yeah, but they don't even really try and do that here. Like, it's a very much, like, a one-for-one cover, it feels like. Tyler, what are your thoughts on this song? Are you a fan of Tears for Fears?
Yeah, not as much as Chaz, though.
Well.
So, I enjoy it, but I do appreciate how they kind of picked these songs that are popular, but at this point, I wouldn't say many of them mean something personal to people. So,
that's true.
It obviously makes a difference with Chaz if that song means something personal to him.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, other ones, like, say, like, Take On Me or something like that. Like, that's a song
exactly.
everyone, everyone likes it, but, like, no...
speak to
yeah,
anyone.
no, like, I mean, I could be wrong, but no one's like, oh, like, this song is, like, moving. Like, this song got me through so many hard times or whatever. But
almost all of them are pop songs that are in the collective consciousness. Like, Take On Me, Sweet Dreams, Take On Me, No Scrubs, Billie Jean, Stand By Me. Like, it's all stuff that, like, is literally universal. With maybe the exception of this. So, yeah.
The exception of what?
Of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Oh, like,
everyone knows that song.
It's not on the level.
It's not a Billie Jean. Yeah, exactly. I don't think everyone knows this song.
Yeah, like Africa, Africa, Sweet Dreams, Take On Me, Billie Jean and Stand By Me are like karaoke level.
I would say songs that literally anyone you talk to would know what that song is.
I would say probably more people would know Everybody Wants to Rule the World than maybe like Happy Together or even No Scrubs or Mr. Blue Sky or Paranoid. I don't know, hard to say.
It really is hard to say.
I'm pretty sure like that's Tears for Fears' most famous song.
Yeah, I mean, but like, it's not a song I would say like I know well. Like, I don't know every word. Like, I've probably heard it less than, say, like 15 times in my life. Whereas I've definitely heard Africa like 100 times.
Africa's a big one. Yep, that's
a
big boy.
I'm partial to. Why can't I think of that song? Head Over Heels.
Head Over Heels, I would say, is probably... That's like...
Head Over Heels is in, like... I haven't actually made this, but I have a kind of mental playlist of, like, songs I think are just, like, some of the greatest songs. Like, you know, like, songs that are, like, transcendentally great. Like, My Girls by Animal Collective.
The Great Curve by Talking Heads.
Sure.
I would put that up there.
Sure. Yeah, and I think that Head Over Heels is, like, in that category for me.
Shout. Love that one.
By the Isley Brothers? You make me want to shout.
No, Shout by Tears for Fears.
Oh.
I like that one too.
I don't know that song.
No, I just think about...
Oh, that's a...
I think about Jake doing it at that one karaoke room.
Oh, dude. Shout. Let it all out.
That's a great Jake-specific
and then,
jokes.
We were all wailing. We were all wailing. Chuck and I went up and did... Gavin and I did.
Hi,
Don't
Gavin.
Stop Me Now. Hi, Gavin.
Hi, Eric. Let's just shout out all of our... Hi, Jill. Jill. Shout out all of our biggest fans.
Morgan. Hi. Thanks for coming out to our show the other night.
Oh, God, this sucks. Let's continue. But do keep all that in. track 3, Sweet Dreams, parenthetical, are made of this. Originally by Eurythmics.
Good cover of a song I do not like.
You don't like this song? Speak on that.
I like it.
The song, as the original is, just I don't like it. Feels like a song I don't like.
You can't articulate. You just doesn't.
I just hate. I can't articulate.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll save that for our rap.
Keep an eye out. Oh, big burp. Keep an eye out for our rap song.
Big burp from Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there are elements I like and dislike about the song. Like, I think it's a great song. Like, I think, like, the main synth riff and the verse are really good. I'm not huge on the pre-chorus. The chorus, like, the hold your head up, I can kind of go either way on. And then I don't really like the that. Don't love that part. But I think overall it's a really good song.
I think my favorite part about this cover is just like how like full it sounds, like listening through like actual speakers instead of like headphones or whatever. You got like a lot of that like stereo like left and right separation with this sense where it comes on like you know, it kind of bounces back.
You're kind of flicking both of your hands left, right?
In a left and right fashion.
Yeah, and then like the kind of like bigger bass and drums too, it makes for like a really like
punchy.
Yeah. As I punch my hands.
Sound great on the microphone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get again. Like I would say that this is a pretty standard cover.
Yeah, pretty true to form.
And I think by and large they did a good job of choosing songs that fit well in Rivers' register, which is, you know, pretty broad, but I think that he sounds good singing all these songs.
Yeah. He sounds so comfortable in his own voice.
Yeah. That is a big plus in terms of where they're at right now. Like at least you have that to lean on. Like he's like his singing is better than it was 10 years ago.
I'm also imagining some covers say they did like Hey Jude and they just threw some like curveball in there and like switched it all up. I feel like we would all be like
angry.
Fuck you.
That's true. I guess like this is by and large it's a very safe album.
I'm reading the Songs from the Big Chair Wikipedia article and it was fully edited by Chaz. In 2014, the album was released by Universal Music Japan on SHM SACD.
I have that coming in the mail right now. That's not a lie.
I believe you.
Thank you, Chad Kasem at Acoustic Sounds.
Okay.
We're doing a shout-out album. Or thingy.
We've talked about this before, how we think of these episodes as albums. And we have a better discography than Weezer.
Yeah.
So, track 4, Take On Me by Aha.
Gotcha.
Classic prank. Made you listen to this song. No, I think this is the best of the bunch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I am likely to agree with that.
I think it's original and like they because like with Take On Me is a song where the instrumentation is such a big part of it that you know so well. So like the like little like piano solo during the bridge part.
It seems even like in the intro when the synth comes in, it's more of like an electric piano at this point rather than a more classic like 80s synth sound.
Yeah, and I like the choice of synth sounds they did. Like, it makes it sound like, even though it's sort of following the original line, I think it makes it sound more unique and new and original.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Tyler, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm not as crazy about it, but I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I think it's cool. I like that this thing they do where like they drop out.
Yeah, and it's just kind of that acoustic guitar going on.
Oh, yeah, I really like that part.
That too. That's not something that I heard so well on the first listen, but when we just listened to it right before starting, that really stuck out to me.
And it doesn't feel like something that Weezer would do.
Yeah.
And that's actually not really in the song. Like
no.
Like it's not
it's just another verse.
Part.
No, yeah, they just do like the same thing.
Yeah, I like this song.
Yeah, I'm happy.
more so than pretty much any other song, like maybe Mr. Blue Sky, you could say, that like they're making like very clear decisions that differentiate it from the original. And
really
though,
making
and
a
they feel
meal
like,
out of it.
Yeah, they feel like good choice. And also, like, this is a meme song for the most part. Like, I don't think people really have much respect for this song generally.
It didn't seem to be that serious when it came out.
And so you can make decisions with it that, like no one is going to be pissed off that
incensed.
You ruined Take On Me, my favorite song.
Take On Me.
Yes.
Exactly. So, overall, good job, Weezer. Keep it up.
They took it on.
They took it on upon themselves. That's nothing. Track 5, Happy Together by the Turtles. Was this song in a Shrek?
Ooh.
It must have been, right?
I'm going to say no because of a particular thing that I've been thinking about all the time, which is just that when you hear a song that was in Shrek, I don't just think this song was in Shrek. I play the scene
Shrek,
in
like
my
when
head.
Hallelujah plays. You see the scene where
in a time when DreamWorks was like cramming all these popular, like ironic song choices into their movies, none of that. Like I don't remember any of the songs that were in. That's a lie. I remember which songs were in Ice Age, but
that was
All Star.
No, the other Smash.
Walking on the Sun.
No, that's I'm a Believer, whatever.
That's not.
Is that the Smash Mouth?
I'm pretty sure the one in the movies.
Is it at the end of Shrek?
Yeah, it's obviously a monkey song, but
Oh my God!
But I'm pretty sure.
Everyone like a terrible topic to Google.
Everyone just Google "I'm a Believer" Smash Mouth and just look at this thumbnail image for the YouTube video.
Let's turn this around.
It's disgusting.
Like a live action Shrek.
That's looking deeply troubled. Yeah, that was them as well. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know that monkeys and turtles kind of all I don't know.
They're all animals, certainly.
Yeah, Beatles, the animals.
The original animals. They said the zombies.
Yeah.
Classic animals.
The opposite of the original.
Here's a fun fact about
the animals after they die.
The post animals. So, fun fact about Happy Together. Knocked Penny Lane out of the number 1 slot on the Hot 100 and remained atop the chart for 3 weeks. 1967. Doesn't that seem very late? Like, doesn't this feel like a song that was written in 1940 and then they did like a rock reinterpretation in the 60s?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It seems
it's
like
got a very old-timey feel to it.
It seems like a kind of earlier 60s song, but it also, like, when you compare it to where the Beatles were at that point in their careers, but then I guess any song that came out like late 60s seems pretty like
we've talked about this.
Like, it seems like shit the Beatles fast. Did like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of got those like horns and stuff in it, and kind of that like piano sort of thing. I guess when they do it that way, it kind of makes it sound more like mid-late 60s, like a little more psychedelic-ish.
Yeah. I will say, it was not in a Shrek picture. However, Frank Alamo's French cover of the song was featured in the 2010 movie Get Him to the Greek and the Halloween TV special Scared Shrekless. So, while the song was not in Shrek, the French cover was in Scared Shrekless. And I think what I was thinking of is it's in Freaky Friday.
Like when, and like when that one guy did all those French covers of famous songs for The Life Aquatic.
Oh, and it was in the Twix commercial.
Oh yeah,
in a lot of commercials.
Talking about. I mean, like there's a full list of in popular culture that this list.
It was in a movie trailer not too recently.
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Not too recently.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So it came out. The song came out in.
Speaking of you being way too fast with recognizing things.
Well, I was just reading this. It was released as a single in February 1967, and it was featured in 4 movies that came out in 1967.
Was one of them The Graduate?
One of them was The Graduate. In the Heat of the Night, Cool Hand Luke, Valley of the Dolls, and The Graduate. I forgot that was in The Graduate.
Valley of the Dolls sounds like such a cool name for a film.
Wasn't Roger Ebert somehow involved in that? Oh, Sharon Tate was in it.
Roger Ebert wrote softcore porn before he became a movie.
Wait.
So I kind of like Weezer's cover of it. I think I mean, it's a pretty safe cover. It's pretty low effort song to
You
cover.
use the phrase low stakes when we were listening to it.
Yeah, it's one of the lower stakes
You
songs.
can't.
And it's a song that everyone has heard a trillion times in like very non like musical content. Like it's been in a billion commercials.
Like,
you ascribe no value to this song. Roger Ebert co-wrote Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. It was originally intended to be a sequel, but was instead revised as a parody of the commercially successful but critically reviled original.
Critically reviled.
Yeah. Fun stuff. So, I'm just going to warn everyone right now, there's going to be a burp at the end of the episode, so turn it off if you don't want to hear that, because we're putting it in for sure. Next song is Paranoid, originally by Guitar Hero 3, and famously covered by Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
I never liked the original song.
I didn't really either.
What are your guys' general opinions of Black Sabbath? You like them? You respect them but don't like them? You don't like them?
I just don't care enough. Like, I don't care. I don't, know enough of their stuff to have that much of an opinion.
Yeah, that's
on.
true.
It's like, it's not a bad song. I just wouldn't really listen to it.
What do you think of Iron Man? I think that's a bad song.
Yeah, that's probably one of 3 Black Sabbath songs I know.
This, Iron Man, and
War
Pigs.
Pigs.
War Pigs, I think, is a really good song.
Yeah,
I think it's
War
really
Pigs
cool,
is
especially
okay.
for like the time it came out.
Yeah.
Is that the one that Arctic Monkeys ripped off for that one song?
Yeah, Are You Mine? Oh wait, no.
Arabella.
Yeah, it's like doo-doo.
Yeah.
You got it.
That one really made me mad, because like I had not heard War Pigs back in 2013 when AM came out.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Black Sabbath fully passed me by as someone
Yeah.
who listened to like FM 96 and everything. Just because it felt so easily summarized in a footnote. Like, you hear half of Iron Man, and they're like, oh, like, that's their sound.
Yeah, like,
okay,
if you've heard one Black Sabbath song, you've mostly
And that
heard
they
them
came out
all.
with those 2
We
albums,
say
and they
as
were the
people
start
who've
of all
never
heavy
listened
metal,
to
and they
Black
sounded
Sabbath.
exactly like that, so there you go.
Yeah.
Sure to
I getcha.
ruffle a few feathers with that comment.
Yeah, we're going viral again.
Again.
Yeah, just like before.
We talked about Ratitude.
We talked about Ratatouille.
Hurley.
Just like our Hurley episode, this is going
This will
viral.
be one of the more popular things ever. Surely we can get this to Teal.
Shoutouts to Shirley. Thanks for coming to my show the other night.
Make sure to like and subscribe, everyone.
Serena, sorry I missed you.
You could get a shout out like Lucky Mustard.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Lucky Mustard.
It's his Christian name.
Lucky Mustard. Hey, he's the star of this episode, and that could be
Yeah.
you. So make sure to subscribe
This episode is dedicated to
in memoriam. I
R.I.P.
assume he died
R.I.P.
laughing
LM.
after hearing the first half of this episode.
Ugh.
So yeah, this is a Brian...
Loving memory.
loving memory.
It's like the Oscar section.
This is a Brian Singer.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm proud of that. Everyone else less so. Yeah, Brian
I'm
sings
thinking
this
about
one.
Brian Singer.
He is doing
get it.
he's. Would you say he's doing like an Aussie impression?
Yeah, he sounds
kind
a
of.
lot.
I think it sounds pretty good. Well,
I like it more than I like Ozzy's voice. So
I think I would like it more if I hadn't heard Aussie. Like if I hadn't heard the original, because it kind of sounds like it's very similar, but also like clearly different.
yeah, it sounds more like it's got more effects and such.
Yeah,
on it.
definitely.
Yeah. Ozzy Osbourne's another weird guy where it feels like I started hearing...
I don't even need to say it. You start hearing...
He became aware to me as like a fuddy-duddy old man.
Oh yeah.
You know.
He
The phrase is fuddy-duddy old man.
I can't imagine what Ozzy Osbourne looked like in
What
like
it must have
the
felt
90s,
like
or in like the 80s. You know?
Yeah. To be... Like, there were young college kids with him, like, whatever, chewing birds' heads or whatever, on
Yeah.
a poster.
Bats.
Bats.
Yeah, like I mean, like so, like they put out their first albums and like at the beginning of the 70s. So it's like, what did Ozzy Osbourne look like in 1980 when he was 32 years old? You know?
Sure.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
To find out.
There's no way, sadly.
School with Rowan Atkinson.
What, Rowan Atkinson? He did?
Yeah, and this other guy. Named
Joaquin
Stephen
Phoenix.
Hawking. Not that Stephen Hawking.
Okay. How do you know this?
Because I know the guy.
You know Stephen Hawking?
Not that Stephen Hawking.
You know Ozzy Osbourne?
A different Stephen Hawking that was in their class.
But you know him?
Yes, not
Oh.
dead one.
I really...
Oh my god.
Not the cripple.
Oh my god. Leave that in. Play
Yeah.
twice.
I've been watching a lot of Family Guy recently.
Whoa, that's
so.
sick and twisted humor. Yeah, I think we have
Watch
enough.
out, Mom. I've been watching The Simpsons.
I think we have enough intel about that. I don't want to press you any further. I think we know exactly as much as we need to know. Is that you know someone named Stephen Hawking who was classmates with Ozzy Osbourne.
And Rowan Atkinson.
And Rowan Atkinson, yes. Are they the same age? How old is Rowan Atkinson these days? He's going gray.
He's looked.
When
the
Johnny
same.
English returned, he certainly.
Oh
had salt and
shit!
pepper
I
like
meant
that.
to see the second one. Was the second one any
I
good?
think it's the third one.
Oh
Wow.
I
He returns again.
cried laughing at the first one.
Like from like 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was.
What
he
did they do to you? They took my blood. Those bastards. But he's just in the hospital. And not their secret headquarters. Anyways.
I can.
Sounds like a movie I
all the
would
people who
cry
saw
at.
Paranoid.
all the people who saw Johnny English are probably yucking it up right now. I think he was reborn, then he returned. Is my record? Or did he strike again?
I don't know.
Or back.
Get better, Johnny English back. Get better movie titles. So
I would love like Johnny English back.
exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Anything else to add here? It's I feel like it's a very, very, very straightforward.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the song came out and then became such a by the numbers song for the type of music. It's easy to forget that it spawned the whole genre.
Yeah, like I'm sure there are a billion songs that like owe a great debt to Paranoid.
Nope,
Exactly.
Ozzy Osbourne is 7 years older than Rowan Atkinson, so probably bullshit this guy fed me.
That's fucked up.
What a tool.
So I just like that rendered the whole discussion pointless. Yeah, Geezer Butler, a guy who, or is it Bolter?
Butler. Tony Iommi.
Iommi.
Are we all looking at the Wikipedia page?
No, I'm just remembering.
Ozzy
He lost
Osbourne and Bill
the
Ward.
tips of his fingers in a car accident.
Oh, that...
Oh, and that's why he like strummed like that. I know that, right?
He has prosthetic tips and like so it was kind of cool because at the time he was kind of working out a new style of playing to
Right.
get around having this disability or whatever you're gonna call it.
Different ability.
Crippled.
Oh. But it's evolved into like it's it's not, is it power chord? I don't know anything about guitar.
I forget.
Would you call it power chords?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Iron Man, I think. I don't know how to play this song. I'm just assuming it's like...
It's a song you can play without the tips of your fingers.
Yeah, I would say so.
You can say that about, like, no matter what, you can always say that about every Black Sabbath song. It's a song you can
It's
play without the
technically true.
tips of your fingers.
Yeah.
So, next song, Mr. Blue Sky.
I like
Originally
Yellow.
by the Electric Light Orchestra, also known as ELO.
Yeah.
See, Weezer has so rarely felt like they're really like losing all composure and just throwing themselves into a song. And that's what is most charming to me about the original of Mr. Blue Sky.
Interesting.
I mean, that's...
When I think of ELO, like, you know, like Jeff Lynne, very much like
Oh.
that, like very tight, very airless kind of production.
Yeah,
so it's interesting.
Jeff Lynne is, I feel like, so. I don't know if he's underrated because everyone that knows of Jeff Lynne is like, oh, this guy is something else. But I think he's like more or less like not as well known as he should be. Like, yeah, he's good friends with George Harrison and stuff. From what I understand.
I feel like I respect Jeff Lynne more than I like ELO. I mean, I don't really know that much about ELO.
See, I do like a fair share of ELO. I'm not some crazy fan. I haven't like dived into all of their albums, but I know enough tracks to have a opinion.
A lot of albums.
Yeah, they did.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Don't
6,
even
7,
bother.
10, 11 in their original incarnation. Plus the soundtrack album to
Similar
Xanadu. I've been on record when discussing this that I think that this is not a great song. Like, I don't think it's a great, like, written song necessarily.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, like, crazy and goes all over the place, and so... Yeah.
There's the one part that is definitely taking liberally from either Bach or some sort of choral arrangement. The whole da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. You know? I'm thinking of something.
No, I get that.
It's out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's okay. Alright, whatever.
We're rapidly running out of steam.
It's 11:30.
I mean, like... Okay. So, let's jump to No Scrubs by Tilk.
A highlight of the album.
Yeah.
What?
I imagined you being like the Wikipedia. It's like, critics described No Scrubs as a highlight of the album, in quotes, with a citation next to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fun choice.
Yeah, they...
Definitely way outside of the purview of the rest of these songs.
Oh, for sure.
It's the most modern of the songs, right?
It's the newest out of all of them, I would say. I feel confident in
It's the only song that...
I mean, they all come out on the same days.
that.
No, Africa came out before.
That's true. He really got you there. Yeah, like, everything else is
if
like...
you're gonna be an asshole...
Yeah, everything else is like early 80s at the latest, and then No Scrubs is 1999. Wow. I'm kind of surprised it came out as late as that.
Yeah, I thought it was like earlier 90s.
And that song actually has some meme status, I feel.
To some extent, maybe.
Yeah. It's definitely like I would say it's in the consciousness.
It's in the internet consciousness for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good song.
Bastille, I think, did an okay cover of
I think he had kind of like an interpolation kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a fan of this cover. I think it's rightfully one of the bigger covers off this album.
It seems like, just sort of reading about that, this is the one that has gotten the most attention, both because it's a unique choice given the rest of the songs, and because it's pretty good. Yeah,
and it's kind of like, it's like obviously originally like a female-led song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess like, anything that has like a sort of more, a unique sounding take.
Yeah, it really doesn't sound out of place being sung by a man, even with, like, the gender pronouns not being, like, switched around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
And this song, I'd say, is very recognizable, but not overplayed.
No, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really should be played more. Like, I feel like a lot of, like, late 90s stuff, like, I feel like...
It's like, I feel like it almost... should or like would it seems like it should have fallen to the same sort of category as like a Mr. Brightside, where it's like everyone knows it and it gets played all the time and people still love it, but like it gets played all the time, right?
Yeah, I feel like you can think about like, I think like Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
Like Say My Name, like everyone knows Say My Name, everyone loves Say My Name. Like whenever it comes on at a club, everyone like freaks out because it's amazing. But it also like doesn't get overplayed, it doesn't feel like.
No.
Yeah, late 90s R&B.
We're about to hit that 20-year period where
it's all coming back around.
Have.
I guess, yeah. Came out in 1999. It's 2019 now.
Yeah. Let's get going.
Quick.
Start playing it.
Usher
I
us into
really
our
like
graves.
this Wikipedia description of the No Scrubs. The lyrics posit that a man who does not own an automobile is
Is it
undesirable
really? That sucks.
as a romantic or sexual partner.
I'm editing that out. That's so lame. Did you do this edit just now, Tyler?
No!
Okay.
I wish I had the
Scrubs,
power
like-
to edit Wikipedia.
That song, like, it feels like a personal attack on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are definitely all three of us scrubs, so
Chris has a car, though.
not really.
Chris can drive and has access to a car.
True.
I can drive a car. No
Oh
access.
boy, this is really.
Chaz has neither of those.
I have an
Let's
almost-
rank the three members of
rankings.
this podcast by their ability to drive somewhere.
And their corresponding status as members of TLC.
Let's
I would be
all
left by.
collate our votes.
Let's make a ranked
My
list.
vote number one, Chris.
So the 9th song on this album is "William Jean" by Michael Jackson.
That was fucking terrible.
So the
It should
9th
be
song.
William Denim.
What? What?
Denim? Jean.
Oh my god. So the 9th song on this album is Billie Jean by Michael Jackson off of his, I would call it a hit album. It's Thrill Her? Is that right?
Trill?
Trillbert?
called the-
What if it was just called Trillbert?
I would fucking love that.
What if the
I've
best
got a
song album of all
Dilbert
time
book
was
right
called
there
Trillbert?
sitting underneath my
Yeah, you love
Bible.
Scott Adams.
Yeah.
Specifically his recent output.
I don't really
Positions
know
on
his-
dimensional chess.
he's like a big Trump head. Really cool guy.
There's one of his tweets I laughed my ass off at, but
That's cool.
He seems like
Scott
a funny guy.
Adams.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Not Donald Trump. I mean, there have been quite a few
Politics is
Donald
being
Trump.
left out of the podcast.
Yeah.
I paid.
I am paid.
You paid for the wall.
We
are from
donated to the GoFundMe.
Canada.
Yeah, this is all irrelevant to us because we're not from this country. This country.
We're not from the country you're listening from. Unless
I
it's
assume.
Jill or...
Unless you're Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Oh my god. What are we doing? Billie Jean. I can't even remember what this sounds like, honestly. This is like one of the most forgettable ones for
Pretty
me.
It's so-
flat, like, woo!
Yeah. What did you say, Tyler? When the first, or was that you, Chad?
That was Chaz.
Yeah.
When the first "Who" comes out from Rivers, you're like, that fell way short.
Yeah. It was not true to the original.
Yeah, and it's also like it's 5 minutes long, which I guess the original
Yeah.
is, I assume, but it's also like,
I remember listening to it, I'm like,
Come on,
okay, well,
man.
that's about the end of it there. And it's like, oh, we've still got another minute and a half.
I think one of the biggest problems with this album is that all of the guitar solos are in the style of the song rather than the style of Weezer.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be way more interesting if they did Billie Jean and then like there was a Weezer-esque guitar
Some
solo in the
crazy
middle.
Pinkerton solo.
Yeah,
coming in?
like that would
Yeah.
be really cool.
Oh, heck yes.
That would have
But-
been great.
It wasn't to be.
No.
Also, another thing about Billie Jean is just that
She's not your lover?
she's not. And
she could be Tyler's. All we know is she's not Michael Jackson's.
It's true.
Or
But I mean, she seems pretty attached to him.
Yeah.
I don't think she has other lovers. What's up, buddy?
hi, pal.
Hi, Tyler. When you
the
listen
song
to this
is
back
so
when you're editing
recognizable
this.
because they did so much unique shit in the studio. Like you read about the
Yeah.
guy who recorded the drums, like packaging each drum container up inside a wooden box or whatever. You know, Michael Jackson sang certain parts through a 6-foot cardboard tube. You know, they really did all these unorthodox things to try and create a signature sound, and it works.
Yeah, it's like an insanely like produced song.
You
Weezer
hear
probably threw it together in like the time it took
yeah,
to record.
454.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it shows.
I I don't know. This is probably like the riskiest song on here to cover, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is probably, out of all of the songs, the most high stakes song. 'Cause it's like a bunch of like songs where it's like, oh, everyone knows these, but they're largely like one hit wonders for the most part, I would say. But not this one.
So it's just such a dense song compared to
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
basically
it's
every other song.
Like most of these like
original...
pretty relatively simple pop songs, like I guess with the exception of Mr. Blue Sky.
Oh yeah. I mean, like the original Billie Jean was like pretty heavily reliant on what seemed to be like the production of it. It seemed like just kind of like weird synth and sample stuff, like experimenting with that, and it just kind of like. I mean, this song is still a dope song, but like you can kind of tell it's like was made in the 80s just by like some of it sounds a little rough, despite like, I don't know,
No, yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Whoa.
What?
Do you know about the Lyricon? It's an electronic flute, basically.
We've got one more song.
I'm reading about Billie Jean. I'm fascinated.
Yeah, you did some weird shit, boy.
Apparently Michael Jackson was listening to it in his car and was so absorbed that he did not realize his car had caught fire until a passing motorcyclist informed him. Just
Hi, Michael.
Oh, so the last song, Stand By Me. We all know this one. Ben E. King. We've heard it many, many times.
They dressed it up
A little?
a little.
Great song. There have been over 400 recorded versions of it, according to Wikipedia. So,
We've all heard.
It's one of those songs I totally would have thought if you had said Otis Redding did it. I would have been like, yeah.
Sure. Why not?
That tracks.
That is a track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the big problem with this is, they didn't choose anything interesting. They didn't choose They didn't choose any song that everyone wouldn't have heard of. That sentence is a disaster. But you know what I mean. They didn't choose anything the average person wouldn't know. And it's like they're musicians. They've been around for 25 years. They know a lot of music.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see a Beach Boys cover on here.
It would have been nice, if they were just doing it for themselves to hear what kind of songs they might have chosen.
Yeah.
One option that Chaz brought up before we started recording, Hey Ya.
Yep.
Would have been very interesting.
Hey Ya would have been great, I think, because they did they covered it live, and there's unfortunately just kind of some crummy audience recordings. But if you can live with that, it's a really, really good cover, because even the lyrics, it really sounds like a Weezer song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess that they have always kind of had that fascination with doing pop songs and covers of pop songs.
Oh yeah,
because this is what I mean. Africa is essentially a pop song. Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Sweet Dreams, Take on Me, Happy Together, and Paranoid Not Really, No Scrubs, Billie Jean's. It's all pretty much pop songs. They don't even cover anything that sounds like Weezer. You know?
Mm-hmm.
They could have done The Middle to choose a random.
That would have been neato.
Yeah, it would have been cool to hear them play it. So yeah, I mean, that's it. That's all the songs.
Okay, goodbye.
Album is done. And my episode. I did it too. Yeah, I mean, I feel the more we talk about it, just thinking about that now, the fact that they had every song in existence to choose from and they settled on these 10
it's a very weird
extremely well-known songs, that almost makes me feel it is more panderiness.
Yeah,
but they also seem to be kind of in this place where there's it's sort of they're doing it ironically.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I feel they're pandering it almost, but like playing it off as doing it ironically.
Like, yeah, like they're sort of doing like a self-parody.
Oh yeah, like we're in on the joke, guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, I kind of brought this up before we started recording, but like, it really feels like, they didn't expect, I really don't think they expected that Africa cover to be as big as it was.
No.
But I think at this, they're almost just like, oh, let's cover a bunch of songs that everyone knows, just throw it out there and see if any of this shit sticks. And I don't know if they had it in mind that it was going to be no scrubs, but I guess it kind of turned out that way, where it's like, oh, they threw it out there, and then like a bunch of like news outlets or whatever, and I use that word very loosely, kind of like picked it up, like, oh, like Weezer just covered No Scrubs, and it's like everything you ever needed, like that kind of clickbait shit. But
yeah, they are all songs that could easily like, well, I mean, like, then it's like they did Happy together, which is like such a random, like
Mr. Blue Sky,
like a song that has been covered a trillion times, and like they didn't. It's not like they're adding anything to it. It's just so weird. It really troubles me.
I mean, I like this as a Weezer fan, like something that wasn't teased, something that we didn't have to wait for. It just came out of nowhere. I'm happy this exists. I thoroughly enjoy it. It was a nice surprise. And I'll probably listen to a few songs off it a couple more times. And as long as it doesn't really get in the way of like the natural progression of the band, like them putting out new material or touring or like working in the studio, that kind of thing, then I'm all for it. And honestly, I'd be down to see a follow-up to the Teal album at some point too.
Yeah, like I said, like it's not that I'm not interested in hearing them do covers. It's that like I want it to sound more like Weezer.
Yeah,
like I want it to be more.
Man, that Hey Ya cover they did though. Whew.
Sheesh.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's my thoughts. Like it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like this album could just like cease to exist, and like it wouldn't
change much.
Yeah, like it's not like my life would be better if they hadn't put out this album.
Like
so
it really feels like this is kind of the thing where it's like you have a dream about it, and you like wake up and it's not there, and you're like, oh yeah, of course that was never there. Like that doesn't really make sense, but here we are.
True. So, I think that about does it for our Teal discussion.
Yeah.
We've got more stuff coming, I think. Obviously, once Black comes out, we'll be releasing that. I'm thinking maybe we'll do an episode before then. We'll see.
If we get a chance, maybe like Death to False Metal.
Yeah, we have lots of ground we can still cover here. Our journey with Weezer is far from over, I would say.
I hope so.
Well, I mean, like, our journey is eternal. But, yeah, so why don't we go to our favorite regular segment, which is our album recommendations. And why don't we start with Chaz?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. I haven't listened to that much music lately. I've been more so focusing on school, but
Humble brag. Go.
Just
More
continue.
Like, lie.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's one way of looking at it. I like the album. Wait, I'm trying to think of the shit that I just like ordered online. I've probably recommended it all already. Anyways, jeez, it's gonna be a lot of stuff to cut out of this.
No, nothing's getting cut.
Let me look at this stack of CDs.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh.
Just pick something.
Favorite one is frickin' Lies, Corruption, and Power by New World Order. That's Chaz's.
New World Order. Lies, Corruption, and Power by New World
That's
Order.
Chaz's favorite album.
My favorite wrestlers.
We're gonna go with the Hurting by Tears for Fears.
The Spurting by...
The one that I've probably recommended multiple. No, fuck it.
By Feels
Fuck
Like
it.
Tears.
Of Montreal. Hissing Fiona, Are You the Destroyer?
It's Fauna. Oh my god.
It's in cursive on the cover.
You're gonna come
Sound
off
like
terribly
me.
in that recommendation.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Hissing Fauna, Are You the Destroyer? By of Montreal.
You can remember. I saw you struggle.
I've also been listening to a lot of that Shins one, Wincing the Night Away lately.
Great
Those
album.
are two albums that I've just like had in the CD player for the last little bit.
That's a really good album. Ooh.
Phantom
Limb, I think, is also in that great songs.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Like
Sea Legs,
those are some good. Those are some good ones. Everyone should listen to
that album. Is a modern classic.
Maybe maybe more so leaning towards that Shins one. Wouldn't Sing the Night Away.
It's weird. My uncle showed me that when we were driving to Lake Tahoe.
Cool.
Because it was like...
That is weird.
Oh, my uncle's a lawyer. We're going to drive up to Lake Tahoe and go skiing. And on that car drive, he showed me Fiona Apple, Vampire Weekend's first 2 albums.
What the fuck? What year was this?
This was late 2010 or early 2011.
Okay.
That Shins album, the other big one, Port of Morrow.
Yeah, that one had probably just come out.
Yeah, that was the new one at the time.
And fucking Florence and the Machine. Like, he got me up to speed.
He really injected you with some indie.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm gonna go next.
Assume Form by James.
You motherfucker!
It's so good.
It's the best.
We're waiting so long for another James Blake album, and
a good one that is.
This one makes me like The Color and Everything more.
Interesting.
I go back, man. There's some great ones in there. Radio Silence, Love Me in Whatever Way. Put That Away and Talk to Me.
That's a good
but
one.
this is about Assume Form. And,
good shit.
Weird, bit of an odd choice of an album cover.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you.
Yeah, he's ugly.
Oh,
next podcast we'll rate the members of
Jamil, or whatever her name is.
It's probably, yeah.
We'll rank.
He's dating a Hollywood Handbook guest.
Close enough to correct.
Yeah. Yeah, everything both of us could have ever wanted in a James Blake album.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna recommend the new 1975 album that came out like a month or 2 ago.
Beer bongs and Bentleys.
It's not even anything, but it's really funny. Yeah, the 1975, like, that's a band where I hated them for a long time. I think the name of their last album, I Like It When You Sleep, comma, For You Are So Beautiful Yet So Unaware of It. That's so fucking bad.
And a band name called the 1970s.
It's really bad. It's all very bad. But what I've slowly come to realize, especially with this new album, is like that kind of like being willing to do that is almost what makes them good. Like the fact that like they're willing to be like almost like sort of like maximalist in that way kind of like works, and it makes them feel like a big rock band.
Definitely against the grain of where the rest of music is at, it feels like.
Yeah, like they're not.
That feels like it's so like 2010 or something though, like.
Yeah. And their new album is called A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships.
I was trying to remember what it was.
Better maybe, but.
And like yeah, like I can fully like nothing has changed in terms of like I still think that that's in a broad sense fucking stupid, and like the titles of their songs are still fucking stupid. But I really like this album for some reason. Like, it's just really good. Like, they feel like a big rock band in a way that, like... Because, like, they obviously have very heavy 80s influences. And, like, are sort of, like... Just listen to the album. And are doing stuff...
Why not call themselves?
The 1980? Anyways. And, like... But, like, I feel like that those influences... Like, they take those influences and are willing to, like... be a big band as a result of that, and I think that is gonna like propel them to success.
They're pretty successful already.
Yeah, but quite big, like one of the biggest rock bands like going right now.
Deck chairs on the Titanic.
Burn by Tyler. Yeah, there's some unironic ballads on here that are really good. It's worth a listen, and like if you can like. It is very much a thing where, like, you have to, like, shift your mind into the right space. Like, there's some stuff, I've talked about this before, where it's like, if you didn't hear from someone that it was good, you would think it was really shitty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have to put yourself... Yeah, you have to put yourself in the headspace that it's going to be good, and then you can enjoy what's good about it.
Okay.
And I feel like that is true of this album.
Chaz, you said that there's such a 2010 thing to have like a really pretentious thing, like bit going on in your music, and to be honest, I kind of miss that now because so many like albums are bare bones,
like clean,
stripped back, like easy, laid back, Spotify groomed listening. And it's like, no, like get up your own ass a little bit.
Yeah, and it's like they do that, like it's very much like a sort of like balancing act because it's like they do the pretentious shit and then it's like we're so fucking pretentious and then like but then like it kind of like goes back and forth between like them like doing the shit and then like kind of like making fun of themselves for doing the shit but then like continuing to do it. It's interesting. Anyways, check it out. It's worth a listen at the very least. It might not be for you, but that's a discussion for another day. For now, that's going to do it for this episode of In the Garage. For Tyler and Chaz, happy Weezer. Goodbye. Moving on. The next song, track number 6. I'm going to burp. It's coming.
Where the fuck did that noise come from?
I was like in my chest.
Holy shit.
I told you.
Wow.
That was leave that in, but put it at the end. So.
Do 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 do.
Oh my god!
I just realized I don't know how it goes.